Hey guys, Desolate Magic here, and I was sent a link to what is probably the greatest Magic the Gathering Reddit post that I've seen in quite some time. So this was titled, "So there was a fistfight at the standard table last night." Now the very last line of this post is, "I won't be providing any additional details on personal information or where this fight took place, so there's no point in asking." So what I think he's trying to say here is Florida. Just kidding, this isn't nearly weird enough to be Florida. I mean, this isn't like Magic the Gathering player throws alligator at his opponent. That's Florida. So anyway, cue the dramatic music. Let's read this sucker. "So there was a fistfight at the standard table last night. I was playing my first standard event back from a COVID sabbatical, double quotes. And we had just started to play game 1 of the first round when the guy across the table from the person to my right accused his opponent of cheating. He had 9 cards in hand, and it was later surmised that he had forgotten to discard a card after missing a land drop. The accusing player quickly got to his feet, saying he'd F up the opponent's cheating ass. He threatened to take things outside within the first minute of the confrontation, and stated that he'd been to prison. The opponent, still seated, did not believe him, and it was at that point that the accuser lifted his shirt to show numerous prison in double quotes tattoos. Whereupon his opponent called him a homophobic slur, and they went outside." Well, don't keep us in suspense. Which one was it? You can't just throw that it was a homophobic slur out there. Like, it could have been. I mean, even if he just gave us the first letter, it still could have been. Especially if that's the tribal deck he was playing. I don't know if still counts, because sometimes, I mean, they kind of call themselves that. I think that's been in some TV show titles. Well, I guess we'll never know. Thanks for leaving us in suspense on that one. Jeez, leaving out the biggest detail of the story. Anyway, his opponent called him a homophobic slur of some sort, I guess, and they went outside. The cops were called, and the tattooed man was banned from the store. I didn't see the fight, as I was concentrating on my match. Hold up. Big mistake there. You know how much they were charging for tickets to watch one of them Paul brothers, whichever douchebag it was, pretend to fight Mayweather? That wasn't even a real fight, and people were dropping like hundreds of dollars on IRL tickets and that, let alone 50 for the stream. I mean, there's a fight going on between some alleged prison, blowhard douchebag and somebody who ain't taking their shit. You gotta go watch that, okay? Like, everyone in my neighborhood apparently lets their cats out at night, and then they all have, like, secret cat fight club, especially on my freaking front porch for some reason. I'm thinking about selling tickets to that shit. Gonna have to call my lawyers about that one first, but I'm just saying, I mean, if it's already happening, $10 and I just tell you where it's already happening, I mean, sounds legal to me. But if you're like, oh, it's a $5 entry to FNM and then also free fight. I mean, come on. That's like getting free popcorn at the theater. That shit don't happen every day. Although it kind of depends where you live. I mean, literally the last time I went to Walgreens, there was 3 homeless guys getting a giant fist fight and like 12 cops showed up. And this like ultra mega boss tier Karen came into the Walgreens and she's like, can I talk to a manager? I just wanted to let you know that there's homeless guys fighting outside. And they kind of had like the what am I supposed to do with it look at my face, but then they, instead of saying that, they're like, oh, we could call the cops. And she goes, well, I already called the cops. I just thought you should know. Like, basically from her tone, it was like, well, she wants them to also do something about it, which is like the opposite of what you should ever legally do, let alone like tactically, I guess, morally. Okay, whatever. But 2 out of 3 says stay inside. You don't get injured or charged if you stay inside. Just saying. But my ass was on the way back to the car, and I'm just like, bro, dude, I'm going to go catch some Pokemon across the street, because multitasking. But, I mean, I make time for that. Unfortunately, I missed most of the action because I needed eye drops. But yeah, the moral of the story is, I mean, free fight, get the popcorn. Plus, I mean, if it was me, I'd go out there and be like, okay, I'm reffing this one. Make sure y'all keep it real. This is a sanctioned fight. Some states have laws about, what is it, like willing participant fights, and then there can't be charges, although the cops usually show up, and if they don't like your attitude, they'll just try and charge you with disorderly or some other bullshit, even though it's clearly legal as stated in the law. But then if it was me, I'd be like, well, you're the aggressor, so if you even vaguely get in one shot, I'm just going to pepper spray you. And then I'll just collude with the other person to say that he attacked you unprovoked, and then he gets charges, and I get to pepper spray a douchebag. I mean, everybody wins. 2 out of 3 witness testimonies say that it was entirely his fault, and the person who disagrees is the one with the pepper spray on their face. Let's send in CSI Miami to see what happened there. I'm still convinced this happened in Florida. Hell, I'd be like announcing the fight. I'd be like, oh, we got a dodge here. We got a tackle there. Oh, he's going for the ground game. He's going, oh no, but he went for like the leg stand that prevents him from getting tackled. Good move, tactical move there. And here comes Des with the steel chair out of nowhere. Oh, steel chair to the face. Nobody sees it coming when the ref jumps in. That's some OG gangsta blindside shit right there. That's, you want to sell tickets, have the ref, pick up a chair. I'm just saying. Somebody goes, hey, fight outside. And I start dragging a chair out there. Like, what the hell's the chair for? Oh, knee problems? You don't expect me to stand up for the whole fight. And then, wha-bam! Face print in the butt of the chair. So anyway, let's read the rest of this post. In my 7+ years of playing Magic, I've never seen a game come to blows. Come play my area then, bitch. I think maybe the COVID shutdown played a role, and people were on edge. But this was unbelievable and I wanted to share. What was the result? Did one or two get arrested? Did you pay enough attention to give a shit? If you've got an aggressive psychotic person, you should probably pay attention to what they're doing. If they lost the fight, you'd want to be at least watching through the window so that when they go to their car and grab a gun, you can respond accordingly. Pretending that a serious, threatening situation that doesn't currently involve you is not happening because you want to play Magic is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. That is not tactically sound, and you, sir, need to go watch some more ASP on YouTube, Active Self-Protection, where they break down all kinds of stuff about, like, here's this fist fight that escalated, and here's this shooting, and here's what he could have done, and this was justified, but that wasn't. And like, oh, this person, forgot to holster their gun when the cop showed up, so then they had to put their hands up, and he should have done that. And, oh, this person tried to, clear a jam, but then didn't get to cover first. I've watched like 1,000 videos on their channel, and let's just say it helped the last time I was in a mass shooting. And everybody else standing around me gawking at, hey, is that gunshots? Yeah, that's everybody else who doesn't watch tactical shit on YouTube. So there's a little shout out to my boy John Correa over at ASP. It's not like we're friends or anything. I'm just a fan. It's not like he sponsored this video. No, obviously this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Just kidding, it's not. So I gotta say, this story probably beats anything that I've seen personally that didn't involve myself. If you rule out the desolator factor, this is the craziest thing I've seen. And the next craziest one involves one of my friends. Let's just say he was even less accepting of people attempting to cheat him than even I would be. And I've threatened to stab somebody's hand to the table. So, I mean, sometimes Magic gets hood as f***. And if shit goes down, pay attention to it because you're near it. It's relevant to you. Okay, honestly, all joking aside, when they're like, oh, let's go inside, oh, they both get up, just say, hey, shut the hell up, you leave, you're the aggressor, get the hell out of here. I'm not the store owner, but I'm the guy with pepper spray, so you want to get up in my face, you're going to have a bad fucking time. I mean, maybe it's just because I used to work security at like a even shittier place in a shittier town than even I live. So when you come across people like that who are clearly about to cause a problem, you just kind of go there. But anybody should have, if they're willing to risk their own safety and they're properly armed with LTL, less than lethal, should have jumped in and tried to de-escalate it. Or if you really want to teach them a lesson, jump in and try to escalate things. Depending upon local laws, because it's like, if you're like, this person really deserves a visit from the Spice Fairy, well, they already proved that they're an aggressive douchebag. You've got like 30 witnesses, none of which are on his side, just saying. But if you're gonna be like, not my circus, not my monkeys, it's not my group of friends, he's not playing against me, and I'm not the store owner, I'm gonna stay out of it, all right, it is safer. It's not safer for that person. I mean, I'll get involved in anybody's shit, I don't give a f***. People fear the Spice Fairy, and if they don't, they're only making that mistake once. Bro, I've been tased once, and that was one time too many. That was highly unpleasant. And before you get any ideas, I accidentally tased myself. I don't tend to break laws. I'm kind of on the other side of things. So yeah, pretty funny situation. I mean, I don't know what happened after. Hopefully everybody's okay, and hopefully, well, I think they said, didn't they say he got arrested? Okay, cops were called. Tat guy was banned from the store. I didn't hear nothing about charges, so yeah, that sucks. But yeah, I mean, I've met people kind of like this. People who fly off the handle go to the, ooh, I'm Mr. Tough Guy. And I mean, normally they say de-escalate and don't be confrontational and just, yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm leaving the area or whatever you say. I'm not going to, try to one-up you and that kind of stuff. That's a safer way to live your life. Unless you're me and you're pretty good at kickboxing and you're always armed. Then you can say and do whatever the you want. Probably helps that I don't have a wife and kid to care about either in case I get injured or worse. So, I don't give a shit. I'll jump into anything just because I don't give a shit to that extent about my own personal safety. I give a shit about like victims, you know what I mean? And if you're like, yes, you're all talk, it's a well-known fact at this point that I've had to pull a gun on 2 people at my own store when it was open. One was threatening me because I wouldn't buy his stolen shit. Clear as day, he didn't know anything about it. It was stolen. And then the other person was attempting to steal something. When I called him out, he's like, oh, what are you going to do about it? Which is not really the best time to pull out a gun legally, but I erased the footage, so he can kiss my ass. So just always be ready for shit to go down. I mean, you go to FNM every Friday for, 10, 20, 30 years. Something's going to happen eventually. It's just probability. So be prepared. Know ahead of time what you're willing to do, what you're willing to not do, and what you should do, and that kind of stuff. I know I was kind of, making fun of this, but, there really is a right way and a wrong way to handle this. And, the more you know your local laws and you're prepared, you got your right tools on you, all the right permits, don't play at a place that has a no gun sign or just walk right past it. It's up to you. So yeah, this shit happens. There's bad people in the world. I don't know if you knew that. No matter how safe or how bad your area is, it can happen to you. Be prepared, know what to do. Watch case studies of what other people did and didn't do wrong and right in different scenarios. ASP or there's other ones out there. And don't freeze up and don't be an idiot. And don't threaten people and say you went to prison and show off your tattoos at FNM. And the most important takeaway is judge people based on their looks. If they got a bunch of tats, they're probably an asshole. Geeky tats and anime tats don't count. And yes, I do consider Invader Zim to be an anime. If they got Gur on their shoulder, you should not only don't avoid them, you should go up and say, hi, that person's like hardcore awesome. So hey, thanks for watching this dramatic reading of this wonderful Reddit post that I'm sure will be deleted because it's on the main MTG subreddit where they don't allow really anything. The mods are just a bunch of babies. By the way, some additional details that the OP had, I guess, given in response to questions. The tattoo was of a frog with a noose. Yeah, we're back to, I think this happened in Florida. There's just another joke about brawl format. That's too easy. Come on. There's one more thing I actually wanted to shout out. Okay, somebody posted many, many years ago under the previous owner, this happened often at our LGS. Our LGS had lots of cheaters and short fuses. That right there is just asking for shit to go down. He continues, people use mats and sleeves with not safe for work images on them. That's how you know they're a douchebag. Just an absolute pig of a person. Just a douchebag who thinks they're cool and just a generally immoral person. Chauvinistic, oh, look how macho I am with my titty frickin' sleeves. Or just some kind of sick in the head, like probably furry pervert. I mean, it's either or. I've seen about 50-50 when they got the perv sleeves. Actually, it's not even either or. They had a third category. They're compensating. But yeah, the swearing was out of control. It's like, yeah, they said we would have at least one fist fight every week within the store, and the owner just watched. Does he think he's running a bar, or like, what the hell? If things are getting out of control, you gotta cut off the 5-10% of terrible toxic people, because for every bad person, for every unapologetic abrasive net decking douche, for every just aggressive, horrible, mean person, just for every toxic entity at your FNM, that one person drives away 5 to 10 other people, guaranteed. So if you start to see people just absolutely stomp that shit out. None of this, give a warning, that'll just piss them off. You think they're going to change their whole life and how they are as a person because you gave them a warning? No, they're probably just going to come back and break in at 2 a.m. and steal all your shit. Just be like, this is an unapologetic douchebag. They're just a miserable excuse for a human. Kick them out, ban them from the place. Just say, you're not the type of person that we welcome here, and you don't even get a warning. You brought these sleeves, you're using this language, and we've got complaints from the players. Get the f*** out and never come back. What do you get from that? You get the nice players, the good players, the ones you actually want, saying, yeah, this is the kind of place I want to play. And you get every other person like him, like, okay, clearly I'm not welcome here. I'm on a timer at this point. It's only a matter of time before I get kicked out too, because I'm kind of similar to that douche. Half the time to leave on their own accord, or if they keep causing problems, kick them out too, and they won't even be surprised at that point. Anybody causing problems, anybody that is a bad actor, get rid of them. It's that simple. Why do you think this person says, under the previous owner? I wonder if his business collapsed and he had to sell it. I wonder. And then the OP replied to this, that sounds like an environment that does not appeal to new players. Definitely not healthy for the game. I hope things got straightened out. And then he replied, yeah, new players would stop coming after the first visits, lol. Exactly. You harbor douchebags, all you get is douchebags, and they drive away the entire rest of your business. And people who are just miserable wastes of space on this planet usually don't succeed in their careers very well because they're just so awful. They never get promotions and can't hold a job. And they end up settling into some minimum wage shithole job where they put up with that kind of crap because who else are you gonna get? I mean, you know what you're paying them. You're paying for a certain quality of worker, and there they are. So they aren't even gonna be the big spenders. It's like it is such a bad business decision to let these people anywhere near your shop. If you're a store owner and you see people like this and they're causing problems, do not be afraid to deal with it. And do be afraid that they're gonna fly off the handle, but then resume not being afraid because you got pepper spray and a shotgun under the counter if it's legal to have either. Man, most people see a baseball bat and they're like, that'll f me up, and that's the end of that. Then again, I mean, these types of people aren't usually known for making quality, well-informed, non-knee-jerk life decisions. But, one broken leg later and they're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. One face full of pepper spray and they're like, probably shouldn't do that again. Maybe I'm the problem. They either figure it out and change their shit, or they go rot in prison for 20 years. Honestly, with these types of people, I don't give a shit which it is. Oh, there's actually a twist ending. The original commenter there says, eventually the dad of the LGS owner stepped in. He bought out his son, changed the store around completely, no more fighting, huge new player support. It's now a WPN premium shop. Dude, that's a Shyamalan twist right there. So, okay, I don't think the owner was like, yeah, my kind of people. Ooh, this is the rough and tough, salty spittoon LGS. And this dad comes in, now we're going to make it into Weenie Hot General Jr. I think it was just like the dude was super passive and didn't want to make waves. Was too scared to run it correctly and then ran it into the ground and his dad bailed him out. That's what it sounds like, but I don't know. It's not like I ever visited there. The theory proposed by other Redditors is that the son left to open a secret fight club. So no more word from the OP Mr. Eelbarrow. Love that username. But hey, if you want to come on, make a follow-up video, do a little live interview, I'm always up for that. Hit me up. This sounds like some crazy shit, and I kind of did make some assumptions about you, why you didn't step in. So if you want to defend yourself or, fill me in on some other details or something, or you found out after the fact what the result was, we'd love to hear about it because this is some crazy shit. But hey, thanks you guys for watching this absolutely crazy video, and I'll see you guys next time.